All right, man. So yeah, you tuned into the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, man. We got a special one today, Sam, man. But I'm your brother, old guy from Hip Hop News Uncensored, and sitting across from me is my co-host.
What up, y'all? It's your man, Sam, and Viral Hip Hop News. We're in the building, like old guy said, for a special edition of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. We got our man, the celebrity photographer, in the building. Johnny Nunez is in the house this evening. Mr. Nunez, how you doing?
Just grinding, you know. I'm in the backyard barbecuing for my kids and my wife, you know.
Beautiful.
Dope. Now, where you at right now? Where you located? You in New York, I'm assuming?
Basically, I'm in Harlem, you know.
Dope.
Harlem, USA. Put this a little bit better on the fence.
Dope. Now, you New York native. You from New York, right?
Yeah, born and raised in New York, Brooklyn to be exact.
Dope. Yeah. So, I mean, when we first got you on, I was thinking to myself, when we first booked you, I'm like, damn, being a photographer, there's almost as many photographers as there are people that do podcasts. I mean, it's so saturated with people that do it. How did you get into photography and stand out outside of the rest when it's so saturated and so many people do it?
Well, first of all, you know, one of the honest truth is I prayed to God for an idea. And I asked God if he gave me one idea, I'd be the best at it. You know, I was given a chance to, let me see if I can fix this camera. All right, that might be better. I was given a chance to, go work, you know, in the streets. And that same night, it just so happened that, you know, God, you know, my ex-girl's mom called me over to grab some of my favorite dish that she made. And even though we broke up, you know, she was like, yo, Johnny, come through. I got some food for you. I had not told nobody I was living in a car, homeless now. So when she called me out the blue. So I thought, man, you know, she don't know. So I just go over there, get some food and go back to the car and, you know, try to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And sure enough, she fooled me. She converted the living room into a bedroom and said, Johnny, I don't know what you're going through right now, but this room is yours. You know, think about what you want to do. And she did make the dish I like. My ex-girl was away at Stony Brook University, so I had the place to myself, you know. But that being said, you know, I told God, if you give me one idea, I'll be the best at it. But if tomorrow comes and I don't have an idea, you leave me no choice. And next morning I woke up and I saw in the sky, in the air, I saw a camera. I went to grab for it and my hand went through the camera. Like I literally saw it dangling in the sky. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh my goodness. I saw greeting cards too. I went to grab the Christmas greeting cards. My hand went through the cards and I was like, God, if you want me to be a photographer, give me one more sign. You know, if you give me one more sign, I won't bother you no more. Mm-hmm. And a peace came over me that surpasses understanding. And I was like, whoa, you know, this is it, you know. And hold on one second, y'all. You can ask me another question while I have to get something from inside.
Oh yeah, you good?
No problem.
Absolutely. So yeah, as he gets himself together there, man. People that are listening to the show, man, do not forget to subscribe for more exclusives like this. We're going to continue to keep bringing people on the show and giving you, you know, nonstop content during this whole COVID situation and beyond. Definitely.
Facts. So we're on with Mr. Nunez, Johnny Nunez, photographer to be exact. Can you hear us, brother?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing over there in podcast world?
We're doing beautiful, man. We holding on strong amid everything that's going on. We're lucky enough to have our own building, so we're allowed to come in here. Got less than 6 people in this joint at all time, and we're allowed to rock out. Still, nothing's really stopping us. So that's the blessing. Amen. You know what I'm saying? So we're allowed to do this. We appreciate people like y'all doing it. What were you gonna say?
No. Where you?
South Jersey, right outside of Atlantic City.
That's New Jersey, right outside of Atlantic City. South Jersey. No, we having some technical difficulties here today.
Like he might have chopped out real quick.
Yeah, he'll be back any moment now. Yeah, man, I can't wait to get into this. You know, this brother has, you know, taking pictures of a lot of people.
Yeah.
And mainly, can't wait to get into the whole, Dame Dash situation.
Can't wait to hear about that, how he even got into that and how Dame Dash found him in Harlem right now. So he obviously stayed rooted in New York. Seemed like a nice little beautiful area too, where he was at, nice and chill out in Harlem. We got to talk about that and how that changed over the years and how he got in Harlem. But I can't wait to get back into it with Mr. Nunez. He seems very excited to be here.
Absolutely.
I'm sure he'll be back soon.
Definitely.
For the people that are listening on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. Hey, listen, man, I know y'all have heard us say it the last couple of days, but we got a great deal.
Absolutely.
With Raycon. Shout out to Ray J over at the Raycon building with these wireless earbuds, man. Some of the best out and a great cost on them. We got a special promo deal to get 15% off an already very valued pair of E55 or E25, excuse me, true wireless earbuds. If you go to buyraycon.com/HHU101, that's again, buyraycon.com/HHU101. You get 15% off, oh God, on your wireless earbuds. Raycon, go check it out, man. You can also hit that on any of the description boxes. You may be listening or watching this on YouTube. Go grab a pair right now, man. The shit's a dope.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, we had a great interview earlier, man, with a former BET producer, man. We had some great stories, and we got to remember to tell him. Remember, he said he knew Johnny Nunez.
Yeah.
Remember to bring that in there. But yeah, man, that was a powerful interview. We got things lined up all week, man. It's a great time right now. It's a beautiful day outside.
Yeah.
I'm just ready to get out of this whole COVID thing, bro. Like, I'm ready to get back to normal life. I can't lie.
The hotter it gets, and I know we got a nice little day-to-day out here in Jersey. I don't know how it's going to be the next couple of days, but the hotter it gets, the less patient people are going to get. People want to get out.
Yep, that's right.
People want to get out. They want to get about you. They miss me with this flu respiratory shit. They're going to want to get out. And now you got, on top of the fact, no one has jobs out here. Jobs are at a minimum. My mom just told me they just did final layoffs out there in the city. So everybody's getting laid off.
So those people actually still working in the casinos?
Yeah, she was doing twice a week. Now, she's obviously head of EBS over there, so they had people in there cleaning the building and things like that. She was still overseeing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they recently just laid her off too.
Man.
We got Mayor of Atlantic City, Marty Smalls in the building next week, man, for a very powerful interview. Can't wait to talk to Mayor Smalls, man. We always wanted to kind of get involved locally within our government, locally into what's going on, the people in place, to really get a gauge on what we're dealing with, because you can hear all day long about who's the president and what's going on and the White House and all that shit, but it's locally that's really what's making impact and what's important. So we got Mayor Smalls in the building on Monday or Tuesday next week. I'm not sure, but real excited about that, man.
Definitely, man. Yeah, I can't wait to get it in. I'm going to give a quick shout out to my man, Foul Mouth Angel. I know everybody sees the artwork here. We got Johnny Nunez back in the building. Let me get him in here.
My battery died. I had to change it.
Oh, it's all good, man. We appreciate the opportunity, brother. It's all good. You know what I mean? But you pick off where we left off. If you want to finish off, or we can go to something else.
So basically, I was going to school for radiation therapy oncology. I was actually treating people with cancer, and I was in a Nassau Community College medical program, and things were going well. I was, doing my rotations. I had only 3 months left to go in the program, and I was going to be working with people that were suffering from cancer and trying to heal them. Lo and behold, I had no idea. I was sent to one hospital that had a reputation for racism, and I didn't think I was happy-go-lucky. I thought, man, I got this far. I'm good. I'm only 3 months away. I'm doing pretty good in the grades. And make a long story short, I got sent to this hospital, North Shore University to be exact. Their radiation department was like the Ku Klux Klan. I could not believe my eyes. Some of the racial things I heard and things I saw, I couldn't believe it, and to be medical professionals, and to treat people a certain way based on their race or their income, it's just mind-boggling. So an accident occurred. I made a complaint. I spoke to some of my friends in class, and they said, "Do what's right, Johnny. Do what's in your heart." And I did, and I got thrown out. I didn't get thrown out just like that because they got in trouble. An accident occurred, and out of nowhere, they blamed me for the accident, and that was it. That's the long story short of it. They got me to sign a contract, told me, "Don't worry, Johnny, everything's love. Once you sign this contract, you're back in the program. I signed the contract, and they're like, adios. And then from there, that's when I had to move into a car because my landlord wanted the rent, wanted to move somebody else into the apartment that was going to pay more. I took out a loan for school. And by the way, I did graduate from college. I went to Suffolk Community College first. I got
Okay.
my associates, and then I went to Nassau for radiation therapy oncology.
Wow.
And unfortunately, I, I put all my stuff in storage, and I thugged it out, delivering pizza at Pizza Hut, and going crazy because I was losing everything at the same time. And I thought maybe I got God mad. Maybe I did something wrong, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But the best thing that could have ever happened is what happened.
Powerful.
Yep.
Powerful. So let's talk about, your first gig, your photography gig. Where was that at? How did you obtain that? Where'd you develop the passion? Like, you know what? I want to start taking pictures of people that mean something. Can you get into that a little bit?
Yeah, once my first job was shooting a church burning of the mortgage, which is a traditional African American it's a tradition, like Southern African Americans would do after they purchased the church. They would burn the mortgage so that they own it forever.
Mm.
You know, I'm just realizing that now that even though Harlem is being gentrified, there's still certain brownstones that people with more money can get because they cannot find the deeds to the property.
Mm.
Slick ways on people, did so that there's no way you can get this house. But my first job was Hope Missionary Church on Lemon Street in Central Islip. Not too far from that church, Craig Mack lived. Keith Murray lived by there. A friend of mine, Regina Myers, told me, "Oh, John, you getting into photography, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got a job for you." I'm like, "Oh, really?" And they're like, "It's $75." I'm like, "What?" I thought I was rich. I'm like, $75? I could do this,
Right.
Yeah. But as far as professional photography, I was out every single night with the camera photographing Mobb Deep, Jay-Z, still doing showcases, by the way. And I was, slowly starting to get better and better. And then when I got really professional, March 9th, the day Biggie was murdered,
Okay.
I was supposed to shoot him 3 days before, 3 days later. Um, when he got murdered, I got hit by a car, and when I got hit by a car, that allowed me now not to have to work at this horrible, horrible warehouse job I had. And now that I had a little time off, it allowed me to perfect my craft.
What I want to ask you,
First
talk.
job, yeah. But then before you know it, I wound up becoming friends with, and this is how God works. He created a path because within 3 months of owning a camera, I was asked to have my first exhibit at a soul food restaurant in Manhattan called Mecca, and they wanted me to do an exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading a book called Unlimited Power by Anthony Robbins, and it was a motivational book and also a book that kind of explained how you could achieve whatever you want in life if you follow these principles. Actually, shameless plug, my man Damon John has a book called The Power Shift. Go cop that book.
Okay.
Damon John is the founder of Fubu. He's also one of the cast members of the Shark Tank.
Yeah, that's my show.
Pick
Shout
up
out
that
to David
Power
John.
Shift book.
Mhm.
Damon John, I tell you, you cannot go wrong. Any of his books are dope. But just like that book, I was reading a book by Anthony Robbins, who's one of my mentors, called Unlimited Power. And that book was given to me by an African brother who married one of my Haitian Sakpase families into his family, her family. And when he gave me that book, I was reading it homeless in the car, delivering pizza, reading the book, working on weekends at this horrible factory job, reading the book. I did everything the book told me to do. So as I was in a restaurant, I was going there every week after I shot a model, and I told the models that I can't pay for you to model for me because I'm practicing, but I'll buy you a meal. So every weekend I was leaving Long Island, going to Washington Square Park, photographing pretty girls that I would see on the street. Young brothers I wasn't really approaching because I was just trying to learn the skills for fashion and for just females. And gradually, a brother by the name of Rick Lamone, who was a model, but he was also a photographer, took me under his wing. Was like, "Yo, Jay, I'm gonna show you how to do this." He helped me. Ted Whiting, a bunch of photographers left and right started to help me. And anyway, the general manager of this restaurant, soul food restaurant called Mecca on Avenue A in Alphabet City in Lower East Side, after coming in with so many girls, he was like, "Damn, son, you got all these pretty girls with you. What do you do?" I'm like, "I'm a photographer." He's like, "Man, you got all these girls." I'm like, he didn't know. I was like, I told him these are not my girlfriends. They're allowing me to photograph them so I can master photography. Mm. I would admire the restaurant because of the photos that they had on the wall. One day I go there and none of the photos that were there for a long time were still on the wall. So I said, "Yo, Fahim, what happened to the exhibit, the photography work you had there?" This is like within 3 months of going there. Because you know what, Johnny? Our pictures need all walls need your picture. How soon can you have an exhibit up? I was like, what? What's the next holiday coming? Valentine's Day. I had like a month or two before Valentine's Day. I immediately started calling all the guy and girl models that I met through the streets. They posed for me. It just so happened that Essence Magazine had a printing company in the town next door to me, and they charged me like $15 and $30 to frame it. I was blessed. Every week people were calling me, asking me the manager was like, "Yo, Johnny, you got to put another picture up because someone just bought another one of your work." I would go in there, take the money, thank the person, autograph sometimes. And this woman said, a white woman, real pretty. She was like, "You have business cards?" I'm like, "Oh, I ran out." She's like, "No, you don't. Come by my office like tomorrow, or whatever." She gave me a box of business cards. It was almost like God directed me. "Hey, oh my God, what are you doing, Joya?" My daughter is here.
I know how that go.
Papa's on an interview. I know, you're crazy. Mommy's gonna go close the door, girl. So anyway, make a long story short, from that exhibit, I saw a young sister just looking down, like she was real sad. And I was just walking around like all excited in a beautiful restaurant. Now I was getting free meals. Now, people were admiring my photos. People were buying my work. And I saw this young sister looking down. I said, "Hey, I'm afraid to tell you this, but there's something wrong." She was like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, I said, "You're too pretty to be looking sad like that. So we got to fix that." Make a long story short, I wound up giving her a ride home. And she wound up saying to me, "Yo, Johnny, I'm the editor-in-chief of Vibe magazine, of a specific part of, no, who was it? I think she was a source. I went to the source, bang, now I was in the source." Similar situation happened with Vibe magazine. Boom, I was in Vibe magazine. Dude, within like 6 months, bro, I was at every party and all of the photos were now starting to get in the magazine. And I was going to record labels, and now personal photographer to Jay-Z, personal photographer to Puff, personal photographer to Eve, Locks, personal photographer later on to Michael Jordan, Spike Lee, personal photographer to Barack Michelle Obama, personal photographer to LeBron James, Drake, Rihanna, you name it. Shot them all, work for them personally, and still work for some of them.
Absolutely. One particular person I want you to speak about, if you may, is Dame Dash. Now, I'm aware that at some point, you work for him, being his photographer. How was that experience? Can you tell us how you got, to meet Dame Dash? How that experience was?
Yeah. So back then, your boy was brolic, you know what I'm saying? Handsome. Everywhere I went, just had my teeth taken out. By the way, just a little quick thing. What did I tell you when I first started this interview? Was I rich or was I living in the car?
Now you was living in the whip.
Mm-hmm. By the end of 1997, I had made $98,000 that same year, and trusting in the Lord and following what He showed me. Now, you know, I don't know, private jet, G4, 50 Cent, I don't know. So many celebrities, Joey Badass, ASAP Mob, Bird, Rocky, you name the celebrity. Meek Mills, Rick Ross, traveling. That's my son, y'all. Jeremiah, we're on a live interview. Hello. Want to say hello?
Oh, you got a J too. Okay, we see you back there, young boss, shooting them J's.
They called you young boss, Jeremiah. They called you a young boss. He's grinning. So, yeah, man. So what's the next question? Sorry.
All right, so
Give me dash. There was a sister that worked at a clothing line called Rockaware, and her name was Dana. Before working at Rockaware, she was at Baby Fat.
Okay.
And at this point in time, I was that photographer that every celebrity was looking for. Shout out to the young photographers that are out there killing it. I'm old now, so I'm just so excited that certain artists realize that their music needs to be recorded.
Fact.
And it's not just get a homeboy or a cousin of yours shooting, but to get a photographer that has a unique talent in photography, much like art, like an artist. Mm-hmm. And so my hat goes off to all the young photographers trying to make it. And anything, whether you're a stylist, a designer, a musician, you name it. All right, back to the damn story. Dana told me, Johnny, I want you to shoot this guy's birthday party, Damon Dash. I was like, all right, bet. I went and did the job. There was other photographers there, but I'm coming from hunger. So I'm not just trying to be in the room and shoot. I'm like, I'm never going back to a car. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So every angle, I had the Bogart, elbow, other photographers wiggle my way, getting the perfect shots. I actually saw shots before I took them so that I knew, just like a basketball move or a football move, I already scaled the room where I was going to capture the cake coming out, where I was going to use the bodyguard to block other photographers from coming in. I set everything up so I could see before I did it. Sure enough, Dane was so happy with the work because the very next morning, his pictures was in his hands. And all the other photographers that they had hired still ain't giving him a shit yet. You know what I'm saying? So next thing I know, I get a call from Dana. She goes, Johnny, you got a passport? Literally the week after. You got a passport? I'm like, I don't. But I could try and get one. She goes, you got to hurry up and go down to Hudson Street. The passport building is there. I said, well, when are we? Where are we going? He goes, we're going to Paris. We're going to Milan. We're going to Amsterdam. I was like, word? He goes, yeah, So when we going? Tomorrow. Tomorrow. Yo, I boogied downtown right by SOBs. Went to the passport place, got my passport. As we're chartering a private G4 jet, some young artists are in the plane, and also another artist who's more of a producer, but now is entering the music world. At the time, Young Gunna, Philly's Most Wanted, they were the cream of the crop. They were the ones that everybody was waiting for in Europe. And Dame had just signed Kanye. So this new young artist, his name was Kanye West. I had met him through Talib Kweli at Urban Plaza. And his keyboardist, his guy who plays the piano for him. Some dude named John Legend. I don't know.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And who would have known, He owes me like 70 euros, by the way. But I'm not going to bother him. But yeah, man. So God has blessed me, man. I got to travel with them, and we were, we became brothers, man.
Y'all still cool to this day?
Oh, certainly, man. If you look at my Instagram, you'll see I went to Sunday service a few months ago when he was in Queens, and it was epic. And him, and I was also Kim Kardashian's personal photographer before anybody knew her. Jonathan Chevin and Simon hired me, and we would go everywhere together. Kim Kardashian and me, Jonathan Chevin, Simon, and who would have known? You know, who would have known? Again, that's how God works. You know what I'm saying? I can't even make it up.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry about that, but I got to ask you, being so closely involved with Rockefeller and Dame and Jay-Z, you obviously know the feud that they have going on. We hear Dame's side all the time. We never hear Hove's side. But how do you feel? I'm sure being still close to both of them about that whole feud and where Rockefeller would have went if, in fact, it didn't go down the way it did.
Man, you know, one thing I can tell you. Pardon me. Can you get me the cheese? Get me the cheese. Ask mommy for the cheese. And bring out the buns and the mayonnaise and the plates. Sorry, y'all.
No, you good, bro.
Basically, this is what I've learned. This is the best way to explain what you just asked me. I realized that in life, and this goes to everybody, get all the stuff. Hurry. I'm not yelling. I'm on a podcast interview. I'm not yelling. I'm saying get the plates and get the cheese. What I've learned in life, right?
Oh, he dropped off for a second there. He'll be back in.
Man. Yeah, man.
Great interview though.
Yeah, man. This brother's inspiring, man. Because I'm sure, and I can't wait to ask him this as well. Like, because I don't know if he has any management or if it was anybody helping him go on, or if he was just knowing where these brothers were performing.
Back, y'all.
We got you back, brother. We get you.
Sorry about that, man. I dropped the phone and pressed the button. What I've learned in life, and this is like my answer to your question, is that nothing is forever. Nothing is forever. A lot of people think that this is it. I'm off to the races. I'm good. Like, never have to worry again. I'm great. Sometimes it is like that, but sometimes, or not even sometimes, you can't stay where you are. You got to evolve. You got to move on, because if you don't move on, your team around you, they may not tell you, but they're already making plans to move on. They're already building boats. They're already building planes. They're already buying cars. They're already making a blueprint of how they're going to get out of the situation they're in. It's nothing against you. Oh, man.
Somebody must have called him. It seemed like.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Hey, this is what we deal with right now. We in the COVID era. We're doing video interviews. We appreciate everybody that's sticking around and listening to the podcast while we have these incredible interviews lined up. Shout out to Vic, doing a great job lining these up. We just had a great interview that we finished up with D. Bradley. You know what I mean? Former BET exec for Rap the Basement, among other things. Gave us an incredible interview. Had Miguel Nunez on yesterday. Pretty bricky. Yeah. In the building. You know what I'm saying? And now we got Johnny Nunez, celeb photographer, giving us a great interview talking about the current, or not the current situation, but the situation between Dame Dash and Jay-Z, being a photographer of them too. Yeah, man. Can't wait to hear it.
Definitely. I like, the tenacity he talks about. We could definitely relate to is like, him, like, he's in it for a different reason. You know what I mean? He's hungry. You know what I mean? And that's what propelled him. He's not just there just to be there and somebody sent them like, nah, this is just me. I'm not working for no company. It's Johnny Nunez. Word. I got to win. I love that.
I love it too, man. It's inspiring.
Definitely. But yeah, man, tune into the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast with your brother, Old God and Sam, man, over there. Go ahead and hit that 5-star rating if you're enjoying the show today. Also, do not forget to subscribe to get more exclusive just like this.
Can't wait, man. What we got lined up for the rest of the week? We got Financial Friday live with our brother Kansu and Darren on Uncensored Truth podcast at Hip Hop News. I sent the shout out to those brothers, man. If you haven't checked out a live yet on Financial Friday, you don't want to miss that, man. We give great financial tips, financial advice, going through what we're going through right now, how to weave through it. You definitely get some gems out of that. Absolutely. We got an interview coming up this Saturday with Young Nice, brother that bought the promotional packages. We had his video premiere on Viral Hip Hop News and Sensitive Institute podcast official channel. We just got another great artist that's about to be premiered momentarily. Hey, listen, man, if you want to be a part of what we got going on, promoting your music, getting your music on all three of our platforms, as well as getting an interview live with your bulls, go ahead and email us, DLSmediainc1 samants@gmail.com is mine. Sam Ants, ohgod@hiphopun.com is Old God's handle. Come holla at us, get details.
Definitely. So yeah, man, we waiting, for everybody, for him to come back in, today. Like you said, we got a powerful lineup. I can't wait to see, what next week is going to hold. But yeah, man. What I was going to say, I was going to talk about this whole this COVID thing. I was listening to the governor, in New Jersey, and they're supposed to be implementing more restrictions inside stores. And I'm like, man, you know what I mean? Like this is getting crazier, and crazier. And you were telling me something about which we're going to talk about tomorrow. Some group of Chinese businesses are actually suing China.
Yeah, $8 trillion.
I mean? Yeah, that's crazy. I can't wait to see the outcome of that particular thing right there. And maybe the similar thing may happen in the U.S. I mean, like, I think now, Sam, man, not to get too into this conversation now, but the government is under the microscope now because they're promising stuff. They put out this whole SBA thing. They said people come apply, we'll give you $10K, and they gallivant like they're really helping people, and it still hasn't made it to the business owners. What's taking so long? You know what I mean?
Business owners, the people supposed to be getting these stimulus checks ain't got them yet. It's a whole lot of fucking gallivant going on, and a lot of patience being thinned. Is going to get serious the warmer it gets in these months and these rent and these leases. I mean, you talk to your mortgage company. I speak to my leasing agency. They ain't budging. I don't know what the fuck everybody else is talking about.
They ain't budging over here. So shit about to get real. They're almost kind of saying, fuck it. Like
that's exactly what they're saying. Yep. Sorry, we know what's going on. It's still old between the 1st and the 5th. Shit better be there.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I had a guy tell me today, I don't give a damn what the governor says. It's about the Fed. So Mr. President, you're talking all this shit. It's time to start putting shit in. Like every mortgage company in the United States needs to put this 3 to 6 month, thinking where people don't have to pay, as well as people that rent, because people that rent, they have a mortgage. So that means that they're getting their mortgage forgiven by the bank that they got. They got to pass that down to the renters as well. And the governor talks big shit about it, but it seems like the Fed is more in control than the state, which is crazy.
I just don't like how much talking is going on and not enough action. There's no action. It's just all talk. And they're just fucking stringing us along. I don't know.
If we think about Bernie Sanders stepping down from the 2020 presidential campaign, what are your thoughts on that, Sam? That popped off earlier today.
I don't really have much thought on it. Not surprising to me. I figured it would be Biden and Trump the entire time, with Trump winning again.
Yep.
What this shows me, and what this should show everybody, because everybody's caught up in, Trump's an asshole, racist, this is that, this is all Trump's fault. And then you look at some of the shit and you go, damn, Trump, what the fuck are you doing in this situation? Don't even look at the red and the blue. Don't look. How is your local government standing? First off, if you're going to give that much energy to this shit.
And have no idea.
I have no clue. And really look at what's important. Does it really matter when shit hit the fan? Would it be the same if Obama was in office, or Bush prior to that, or Clinton prior to that, or Bush prior to that, or Reagan prior to that? Would it be any fucking different?
But they first of all, you're looking at the candidates that they give you. It's like wrestling. Like they give you the Undertaker and the Ultimate Warrior. Like you're gonna like one, you're gonna like both, you're gonna hate one, wherever the situation is. So it's like the people get on this thing. I still see people wearing Obama hats and saying, let's go back to Obama again. I'm like, you fucking crazy.
Like, what would it matter?
What would it matter? It's just a faith that you guys, idolize for no reason, because he did nothing for you, black people. But I just look at it like a lot of the people are politically uneducated. They don't really know what's going on, and they just pick whoever's being put out in front of them, or oppose whoever's being put out in front of them. Because a lot of people, like these dumbass rappers and celebrities, they go at Donald Trump, but at the end of the day, the bottom line is, are you saving money more on your taxes with Trump or Obama? So why would you, get behind this guy, when he's definitely helping you out, and you just putting up this fucking front like guy like D.L. Hughley?
You said
like
it right there. Yeah, it's a fucking front. Right. They're doing it for the cameras, because they do it for the cameras right then, and then right behind their back, they vote for the motherfucker, still taking pictures with him, still chilling with him.
Yeah.
He was Donald Trump firing motherfuckers and a billionaire mogul prior to him being a president. Right. Now, all of a sudden, because he wears a red hat and he's a Republican and goes against the agenda that you're supposed to preach, which is black people are supposed to all be Democrat. Now, all of a sudden, he's the enemy, and come on, stop it.
Right.
Whatever, man. It's all a shit show.
I know my parents probably still fucking Democrats.
Oh, my mama's damn sure. Man. I don't know about my dad. I know my mama's damn sure Democrat. She ain't trying to hear that Trump shit.
Johnny Nunez back in the building, right on time.
Sorry, y'all. My battery is dead, so the charger that was charging it, the external charger is dead too. So I had to go get another charger. But I'll make it real quick because I hate to interrupt you guys in this amazing podcast. But basically, you know, I think they're great. I think they're both great individuals. You know, some things don't ever really need to be explained. You know, I think the explanation speaks for itself in terms of where their lives carried them after. You know, Jay, phenomenal businessman. Dame, a phenomenal businessman. One was an artist and turned it into an entrepreneurship by owning multiple businesses in music and fashion and beverages and who knows, technology. I mean, Jay is a beast. You know what I'm saying? Dame is a beast too. From cannabis to art to curation to collecting art. I mean, I went to his beautiful home in California, man. I mean, it was a gated community of mansions, you know? You got to understand, what's for one man or one woman ain't necessarily for you.
Word.
God has blessed everybody with their own opportunity that he grants them if they seek it. So when I see, hey, Johnny, why didn't you get into the Jay-Z breakfast? And why? I didn't see you at the Puff Daddy birthday party. And I'm like, well, God allowed me to be part of that for a moment. And then they moved on in their life and I moved on in my life. And people say, well, John, you know, how is it that you know all these people? These people I met because a lot of them, I met them when no one knew who they was. There's certain people that till this day are my friends. And there are certain people to this day that, although I've seen them when they had nothing, will act as if they don't even know who I am in the room. Money can change people. Stupidity can change people. But certain people, thank God, they don't change. Pull over and they'll talk to you. You know how many big artists I know that if they see security come to tackle me, they won't say nothing. They'll just let security, yo, get out of here, yoke me up, throw me in a corner, or grab my camera. That's unfortunately happened to me. But once the manager finds out, oh my goodness, it's Johnny. Oh, Johnny, come over here. Oh my God, so you were right. Fire the bodyguard right now. Go home. You're fired. Johnny, you're all right? Do you need anything? Call an ambulance. Oh, call an ambulance. Hold up, Johnny. Let's talk about this tonight or tomorrow morning. Have your attorney call my attorney. Before you know it, there's something really beautiful in my bank account to avoid problems. And that's not because of threats. That's because the artist genuinely respects me. You know, but then there's artists that don't respect you. You know what I'm saying? Come on. So yeah, so that's my answer. Why he may not ever gave his side is because he doesn't have to. You know, he doesn't need to. You know, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of great stories. I'm sorry, y'all. It's like one calamity after another. Simba, what's up, Simba? Yeah. So what's the next question? If you have one.
Yeah, we won't hold you too long, man. We see you got to be busy. You things got going on. I guess one of my final questions would be, you know, so many rappers, you know, so many entertainers, but going into it in the beginning, you had to just have your camera and have your grind. Just talk about the grind to where you got today and how just moving in and out of certain places. Like, how did you realize that these artists were having these events at a certain time? Like, how was the grind and how was the process with your grind starting out?
For me at the time, I was constantly getting invited. You know, by the way, you spoke of artists. Shout out to my artist, Rossi. Rossi is my artist, and we're seeking the deal. He's an amazing songwriter, producer. He's a pop artist as well as a rap artist, as well as it's called. He's an alternative pop artist as well. You know, so shout out to my artist. All right, sorry about that. Continue. What's the next question? Hello? What's the next question? I'm sorry.
Oh no, we were just it was a final question that he had for you. You know, today I would say you have
how do I get access? If I'm reading that right, how do I get the access?
Yeah, he was asking like, you know, like starting off, did you have to like just go places, kind of post up and wait? Or most of the time you got gigs, was it just you were invited? You were invited by people and word of mouth spread.
Yeah, word of mouth. Word of mouth still works, believe it or not. I mean, I know we got tons of social media platforms and ways for people to get in contact with each other, but at the end of the day, it's almost like when there was gonna be a fight after school. You know, 3 o'clock, they're gonna meet in the playground, you know, or the schoolyard. They're gonna fight. You know, both sides are talking junk. One guy obviously is talking more junk than the other, and then finally, what happens? The fight breaks down, and that artist, that person gets his ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? That being said, that's how it is with life too. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Here, this is the corner.
Yeah, over there burning at the corn over there. That's what's up, man. It feel like the summertime, you know, people on the grill cooking. I love it.
I just hit my lady like, yo, we got any charcoal? I don't know if it look like it's about to rain out here, but I'm ready to throw something on the grill my damn self.
I think 8 o'clock, so you might be good. Yeah, a little bit of time.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? You never know with this weather.
Word.
No.
Interview with Johnny Nunez
in the building.
Doing my daddy services here. But yeah, what was the question again? I apologize, y'all.
No, we were just asking in your grind in the beginning, like going from place to place, like how was it? Because I don't know if you have management or how the business was structured back then, but how was it that you were able to find these rappers in these moments and come to where you are?
I kind of like knew, you know, this guy got an album out. This girl got an album out. There's got to be, you know, I didn't even have to think about it. It was like 4 or 5 parties going on. You know, every artist that was coming out with a new album in one night in New York City, at least I can only speak on behalf of New York and California and Miami. An artist drops an album and he's in that town, they're throwing a party. You know, then you got the hustlers, you got the street coming out, they're gonna buy bottles. Got the models and you got the influencers, they coming out. So I'll never forget, God bless the dead, my man Zip. Zip was from Harlem. He was one of those old school original gangsters, you know, and Zip comes from a long line of hustlers from Harlem. Kind of like what was that movie with Denzel Washington?
American Gangster.
American Gangster, yep.
Guy Fisher and what was the other guy's name? It was Guy Fisher and his partner.
You're not talking about American Gangster, are you?
Yeah. No, the competition to Denzel.
No, not Bumpy.
Nah, you're talking about Nicky Barnes.
Nicky Barnes and Guy Fisher.
Okay.
They came from that line. And I'll never forget, Justin's, the restaurant, was just not even open yet. Puffy was throwing a big birthday party for, I think, Andre Harrell. And I was leaving a nightclub called Envy. And as I was watching all the hustlers and the players and all the artists and the whole entertainment world leaving Envy, and they were all going to Puffy's party for a private party. And I said, man, I wish I could. I'm from Long Island. I don't know any of these people, but I remember Zip seemed like a real down-to-earth dude. You know, pulled up with like a convoy of Mercedes-Benz and Bentleys, convertible Rolls Royces. So when I saw him, I took a picture of him. I'm like, hey, Zip, where y'all going? We going to Puff's party. You want to come? I'm like, yeah, I would love to. He was like, yo, Fillmore Anderson, an A&R from Atlantic Records at the time. Bring my photographer in with you. And I got in this beautiful Benz, and I'm like, I'm in the cut. I can't believe it. Sure enough, boom, we go inside Puffy's party, and there's Johnny Cochran right there. There's Donald Trump right there with a bunch of girls. There's all these celebrities, and it was surreal. And I guess to answer your question, once you get into what it is you like to do, God will find a way. The universe will come to you, you know? Also, if you're like one of those friends that has a friend who's a rapper for the past 20 years and not one album made yet, it comes a point where you got to realize this may not be for you. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, No one's gonna tell you that. You know, you can keep on living your dream. But there's a book called "Who Moved My Cheese." I encourage everybody to read that book after you read Power Shift by Damon John.
We would love to have Damon John on the show. We're both big fans of his. If you have any influence on that, man, let him know.
I'll call Chauncey. I'll call Chauncey, his acting manager.
Absolutely. Did you D Bradley wanted to say a brother named D Bradley wanted to say hi. We interviewed him earlier, former BET, worked backstage producing video. I don't know if that name rings a bell. Yeah, tell
him I saw what's up.
No doubt.
Yeah, man. So we in the building this evening with Johnny Nunez, celebrity photographer, man, on this episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. We appreciate him spending some time, taking the time out with his family to spend an hour with us, man. We appreciate you. Before we get you out of here, sir, can you give us and give the people who are listening your handles, where they can find you at, where they can locate you, media, things like that?
On Instagram is Johnny Nunez. That's JOHNNY. Nunez is spelled NUNEZ. And it's at Johnny Nunez. My artist is Rossi, RAH-C. Find him on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal. He's a beast. He has a new song out called Outside of Time. And support us. Support the artist. Give me your handle when this is over. I want to add you to the next video I send out. Being that we're all quarantined, I'm going backwards in time to all these great moments that I was able to photograph and capture with my Samsung Galaxy phone.
Yeah, keep us in the loop for sure.
I want to give a shout out to Alpha Industries, to my man Matty Ho. I want to give a shout out to Lafayette Clothing. By the way, in May, my T-shirt drops. I have several celebrities on them. It's a surprise. Lafayette Clothing. Go on their .com. They're in Japan and they're also on the Lower East Side. Shout out to Canon Cameras and to Leica. And to followback.com, a company I co-founded. Yave Tequila, and to The Game Inc. Shout out to my business partner, Palea, from DC.
Dope.
Awesome.
Also Domingo Zapata, famous photographer, famous painter that I collaborated and had my first art exhibit in Miami for Art Basel in December. And to Kiki Skulls, a famous sculptor from Mexico who's also an artist. And a big shout out to them too. And to my wife, Angelique, Dr. Angelique Anderson, and to my children, Jeremiah Joya Nunez, and to you guys for giving me this opportunity.
Nah, man, the pleasures are ours, brother.
Definitely. Now go enjoy some of the hamburgers, man. We appreciate you.
Some of that corn.
I got one on the go for you right now.
All right, brother. Take it easy, bro. Definitely. Blessings. Yeah, man. Another great one in the books.
Yeah, man.
Today, Sam, man, I know we hungry, ready to get the fuck up out of here, man. But hey, man, if you are listening to this program, hit that 5-star rating. Help us out. We're giving you, nonstop original content, I should say. So,
indeed.
Do that. Also, make sure that you subscribe. You can subscribe to the podcast. That way, when you subscribe every morning, when a new episodes drop, you'll get it right there, and you can check it out.
And we do so many goddamn episodes, you never know. You might get one in the morning, you may get one in the evening.
Yes, sir.
Because we got so much content that we're giving to you during this time, during this quarantine. We know it's difficult for everybody. We're getting our asses up, and we're giving you a little bit of an outlet during this time. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe to the baddest goddamn podcast, the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, on this Wednesday evening. About to get out of here and get some fucking barbecue and go on myself, man. The Sandman, Viral Hip Hop News. Oh, God, Hip Hop News Uncensored. Shout out to Vic. About to be the publicist and not the intern, but until then, we're the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Over and out. Peace.